Today, I'm going to show you how to build basically anything that you want using Genspark, which is a very powerful super agent that you can just give it prompts. It'll go off and do whatever you want. So as an example of that, if we go into the AI profit board, and if you want to see some examples of what we've built with this, it's pretty insane. So if we go to the classroom over here, you can see inside the classroom, we've actually built an SEO game, a content generator, a full website, an AI growth calculator, SEO game again, and even a French translated version of my website. And today I'm going to show you exactly how to build all this sort of stuff using my custom made workflow and prompts to come up with new ideas and to figure out, okay, what can you build and how can you build it, all right? So as an example of this is hosted on genspark.site. This is Julian Goldie's insane SEO adventure. And if we click on start your SEO journey over here, you can see that we can just go off and get hit by algorithm updates inside our game. And then you can see this actually links directly to our services page on the website. Again, Genspark, it went off, it did its magic. Using that, we click try again, we can go off and play this game directly. And you can build like 3JS runner games, you can build custom-made games for your industry, and you can do all of this in very, very simple prompting methods like I can show you right here. So we've actually got a full recipe inside the AI Profit Boardroom, but you can see some examples of other tools that we've built. Again, we have built this 3D game right here. We actually built a SEO content generator. And the stuff that I would say about this is like, this is way more powerful than any other AI agents I've seen out there. Now, for example, if you've used tools like Manus was mind-blowing when it came out a month ago. But now I would say this is a totally different level. I mean, you can see here, for example, it's even done the research on me, figured out who I am, promoted my products directly on the page, included some testimonials, and then hosted this on a subdomain with an SEO content generator. Bear in mind, like last year, I was paying hundreds of dollars a month for tools like this. Now I can build them for free, plug in my custom API key, boom shakalaka, we're off to the races, and we can build whatever we want using Genspark. There is no limit from what I've seen. You know, here's another example. So this is a website we actually built in just a few clicks using a couple of prompts. And you can see it even researched not just me, but my whole team, and it created a better version of my website. I mean, for example, if you actually compare my genuine website versus this AI generated one, which one looks better, mate? It's gotta be the Genspark one. I'm ashamed to say it, but it is genuinely better. And you can see here it's even figured out, okay, here's our team. And if we actually look at the about page as well, I would genuinely say that Genspark did a better job than I did on my own about me page. And this was built with AI, right? Pretty much completely automated. I'll show you how we did it. So if you want to learn how we build stuff like this, well, first of all, if we scroll down inside the AI Profit Board, you can actually get like the chat. So you can see exactly what we did inside the chat over here. And this is the actual prompt that we put in. So we said like create an AI SEO content writer tool. People should be able to plug in the API, blah, blah, blah. And it went off, did it. I actually asked it that it needs to create like a more modern, sleek and beautiful version of that. Found a bunch of images of me, etc. off the interwebs and then redesigned it and popped it over here. Boom. There it was, 2 prompts, literally 2 prompts. I mean, we could have just stuck with 1 prompt if we really wanted to, and it's incredibly powerful, all right? Now, one of my favorite tools for coming up with ideas on how to build anything with Genspark is I'll just go into Prompt Forge AI and I'll be like, okay, an SEO agency, find me ideas for apps, tools, websites, and games that I can build with a AI super agent, right? And then typically as well, what I'll say is like keep it simple so that it's actually realistic to build, all right? You don't want to try and build some crazy SaaS software that just rinses all the credits but doesn't actually build anything that you want, all right? And so you can see here, for example, this sort of stuff we could easily build, like an auto content brief generator. We could easily just create something for that. Client SEO report builder, I'm pretty sure we could do. Backlink opportunity finder, we might struggle unless we can plug that into an MCP server, or we can give the AI an API like Perplexity Sonar, which connects to the internet. But you can see the sort of stuff we can build, like websites as well. I think it's honestly ideal for like lead generation websites. And the reason for that is because you can host it on a subdomain, then you can deploy it to Netlify. It's very easy to just create a huge website in a few clicks, just going back and forth. You could build out like maybe 10 pages a day with Genspark. Take it easy. And also this as well, right? I'm actually going to come on to different ways to make money later in some of my other videos on Genspark, but you can see here, for example, keyword battle royale, right? 2 users input keywords, AI simulates a content war. Who would win in the SERPs and why? Entertaining the strat. That would be super easy. Content strategy builder quiz. We could easily build that. All right. So for example, go back to the AI Profit Boardroom. We've actually built a quiz before using Genspark. You can see that right here. So for example, how many link building strategies covered in Julian Gold's ebook? If you didn't know, we covered 9. And that book is free, my friends. All right. What is the main issue? We're focusing only on domain rating. We're building links because it ignores other factors like relevance and quality. So, we actually built this quiz just to train our team. And again, all the prompts are inside the AI Profit Boardroom, but I've shown you how to come up with these prompts, right? So for example, what we can do from here is like, okay, if we want to use Prompt Forge to come up with the AI SEO simulator game, then we can say, okay, give me the prompt for this bad boy. Make sure you put bad boy at the end. All right. Then we'll hit enter and we'll wait for that to load and we'll get the prompt back from Prompt Forge, all right? If ChatGPT isn't completely broken, but we'll come back to that in a sec. If you don't want to use Prompt Forge, honestly, you could probably just say inside ChatGPT, give me the prompt to build this out. And you can see here, it says, here's a solid prompt you can use to build this out. And then what we can actually do is we can copy this prompt over here. And if it's getting a little bit complex, you can see here, for example, like it's like, right, game features start with a fictional website, user picks strategies per round, etc. I would simplify that more. And I'm going to say like, simplify this more into a simple 3JS. Run a game using the same concept called idea. All right. And then we can use that to start building this out. Now, honestly, you don't have to use Genspark to do this, but it is the easiest, when it comes to deploying things, when it comes to building things, everything else, right? So you could even just go into, for example, Gemini 2.5 Pro on AI Studio and ask it to build out a 3JS runner game for you as well. It's just I typically find Genspark is a lot better because it'll preview it and give some ideas, etc., and then just start building this out here, right? So if we grab this prompt like so, we'll go over to Genspark. Then we're going to go to the home section, Genspark Super Agent. You can choose if you want, or we can just go into the prompt section over here. We can plug that in. And I'm going to say simplify it so it actually works, all right? E.g. a simple HTML file, all right? And the reason for that is like the more complex you make this, the longer it's going to take to build, the more credits it's going to use, the more it's going to cost you, and the less likely it is to work, plus the more time it's going to take, all right? So if you just want to build out something super simple with this AI super agent, then the best way to do it is just simplify it, right? Simple HTML, CSS if you want, JS, but nothing too crazy here. We'll keep it simple, peeps, all right? Now, the good thing is as well, inside Genspark, we'll actually get a preview section over here and we'll get the thinking mode as well. And this can actually do multiple things at the same time. So if we open up another tab, all right, so if we duplicate this tab over here, and then from here, if we start building out the next thing that we want to build, we can easily do that as well, right? So I know, for example, a lot of people are using Genspark for creating lead generation websites, right? So what we can do, and I'll go back to Prompt Forge, the one and only, right? And I'll say, okay, give me some lead generation website ideas for my SEO agency. And I'll just say something simple like, e.g. a directory or something like that. Keep it simple, but promote Goldie Agency inside the directory, inside the website, lead gen website, all right? And then what that's actually going to do is once we start plugging it into Genspark, this can create websites for you and automate them like I've already shown you. But also you can actually take the code and then deploy it to something like Netlify. All right, so you can see here, for example, like a local SEO audit website tool. That would be perfect. So what you can actually do is you can take someone's email address, they plug that into the website to use it, etc. Or even if it ranks on Google for your target keyword, then you basically win in there as well. You got an SEO score leaderboard, top local business directory, for example. So if we took a lead gen idea like this one, and we went back to Genspark and we said, build a local lead generation website for SEO agencies for ranking the best SEO agencies in Manchester. Keep it simple. And then we say promote these links plus Julian Goldie's website throughout. All right. So basically what we're doing is building this local lead gen website that will rank on Google for our target keywords. And the other thing we can do over here, peeps, right, is we can go over to the Keyword Explorer and just find some relevant keywords we want to rank for around this. So if we put in, for example, best SEO agency, we can find a bunch of keywords over here. You could also target this locally. So you could say, okay, best SEO agency in London related keywords. That could be pretty easy. Or best SEO agency near me related keywords. But I think honestly we'll stick to London and its suburbs. All right. So what I'm going to say now, back inside Genspark, I'm going to change that to London. Keep it simple. Promote these links in Julian Goldie's SEO agency throughout. All right. And then we'll say rank for keywords related to SEO agencies in London. And other suburbs. Get creative with the towns, suburbs, regional SEO keywords we can rank for on this directory website. All right. And then the cool thing about Genspark is, just like we've been doing in this tab, we can just say, yes, we want to proceed. Is if we go back to the other tab here, we've got the SEO simulator ready to go, right? So you can see pretty simple and easy there. Obviously, there's not much motion. We want to dodge the red blocks, get the green blocks. But you can see how easy that was to build. And then we can just turn that into something more interesting. So, for example, inside the chat here, we could say, okay, make the main character actually move forward, add a background of SEO, traffic, charts, and clouds. Make the icons like emojis, e.g. charts, keywords, etc. All right, and we literally just built that game out. Like you can see here, the scores are actually working. Using this prompt, I'll actually plug that into the AI Profit Boardroom if you just want to steal it or you want to, customize it to yourself. What you can actually do as well inside ChatGPT is you can say, okay, customize this to my industry and then insert whatever industry you want to rank for. So, for example, it could be like, okay, maybe you are a programmer, all right? So you're like, okay, customize this to my industry programmer so that it's related to programming. Get the prompt sort of spun inside ChatGPT. It will give you a nice little prompt to customize to you, your industry, etc. And then it's pretty simple and easy to do that, all right? So what we'll do inside here is I'm just going to plug that at the bottom if you want to steal that from me. But yeah, pretty simple. And then you can see Genspark is now coding out the London SEO agencies directory. Pretty simple. The other thing you could do with this as well is like you could copy and paste a bunch of keywords into the chat and then come up with new ideas based on that too. So different pages for different keywords, etc. Now, if you're worried about, okay, like, maybe you're an agency that builds websites, or you build tools and that sort of thing, you're wondering whether Genspark is going to take over. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to BS you here. Like, it's a serious risk. All right. I think everyone is at risk on the planet, because if you look at the speed that this is improving, like computer use that only came out probably about 6 months ago from Claude, maybe a bit longer than that. But essentially, you look at, okay, we had these AI agents that first came out last year, and now they're just improving all the time, right? They're just getting better and better. And so look at that. We just built a game in like 2 minutes, all right? And we just have to dodge the X's, etc. Super simple and easy. We could say to the game as well, make sure you add more icons, because it doesn't seem to be many appearing on the page. But you can see how easy it is, right? So we could say, okay, make the game harder with more icons, etc. But we created that 3D game in how long, right? We even got a little traffic chart right there. So yeah, I mean, if you're building websites, if you're building agencies, should you be worried? Absolutely. But that's why I create this information for you, so that you're ahead of the curve, because 99% of people who are not using ChatGPT every day would never know about stuff like this, right? Like, by watching this channel, you basically get the drop on your competitors and your clients, so you stay ahead of everyone. So thanks very much for watching. I've shown you how to basically build anything that you want using Genspark with less tools, apps, games, quizzes, etc. I've actually built a couple of examples directly on the live stream today, on the video right today. And also, if you want to get all of these prompts and you want to get live training and live calls about how to use stuff like this, feel free to get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description. This is basically a community focused on making you more money and saving you time with AI, right? It comes with all my best prompts, tips, workflows. You can also DM me or Vic, who also runs the community, anytime you need help. And you can see all of our best templates, automations, SOPs, etc., including a Genspark SOP directly inside the chat here. And also, if you love this sort of stuff, then you're going to absolutely love Manus, including free alternatives for Manus. So if you're looking for like free alternatives, we've got a bunch here, including the SOPs on how to set those up as well. Right? And inside the community, if you ever get stuck, you can post inside the community, ask any questions you have. I believe there is actually a live call tomorrow. So if you sign up today, you'll get the live call, and also you'll sign up before the price increase, which means you're going to lock in your legacy price. And if you love websites, feel free to book in a free SEO strategy session. We'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visitors a month and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales on autopilot. And on this free link building acceleration session, you get a free custom tailored game plan to your business to get you more leads, traffic, sales from Google, and free traffic, so you don't need to keep paying for ads, my friend, right? Also answer any questions you have live on the call, and this is based on how we've helped hundreds of clients at this point, as you can see from all our happy testimonials right here. Raymond says, geez, this is serious. It's not insane, but it's absolutely wild. Just enjoying my cheeky lemoncito there, right? I don't know if you ever had this. Your Mason Perrier. Living the dream, my friend. AI can't overtake that right now. My 1,000 credits gets used up first. I actually signed up for 10,000 credits. I think it was like $25 a month or something like that. Cat Chief says, could you give us questions or answers? Happy to. Join the AI Profit Boardroom, my friend. Can I build in Cursor on trade, real estate with beautiful? I don't use Cursor that much, honestly. I'm not a massive fan of it, to be honest with you. And if you don't have Ahrefs, build your own keyword tool with Genspark. That's what you want to be doing, my friend. Make sure you build your own tools. For Samir, legend on the live streams, says, thank you, Julian. I will use Genspark later. after work to design some sites. Yeah, you're gonna absolutely love it. I think I was showing Vic from the AI Profit Boardroom. He was absolutely loving it as well. All right, so make sure you check out. I think on the free version you get like 1 or 2 iterations. You don't get a massive amount. Just, you know, I'm not going to BS you there and tell you it's the best thing since sliced bread. If it's, but you can do some stuff for free on the trial, and then if you like it, it's only $25, right? It's a lot cheaper than Ahrefs for building stuff out. This one-click AI agent is absolutely insane. So what we actually created here was a game, like you can see, in just a few moments, and it is absolutely the best game I've ever played in my life, to be honest with you, as you can see right here. Now, if you want to build out tools, apps, games, etc., using this sort of process, it's quite easy. And I'll show you exactly how to do it in 1 or 2 clicks. So you can see, for example, here we said build a 3JS 3D SEO simulator runner game using 3JS. Core idea here, blah, blah, blah. Here's what you're going to do. And you can see the agent just went off, did its magic, built it out. Boom shakalaka, we've got this ready to go. We can also share this with our friends if we have any. And you can see here, we can click on start game and then share this. In fact, I'm going to share it with some of my friends inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Make sure you sign up, link in the comments description. And if you go to the SP section over here, scroll down to the Genspark section, you'll be able to get access to that game if you want to test out, along with a bunch of other stuff that I'll show you exactly how we built in like literally 1 maximale 2 clicks. All right. So basically how we're doing this, as you can see right here, using this process. So this is the game that we've built. And again, you can use this for building apps, tools, games, whatever you want. You can do this using a very simple workflow. All right. So here's the way that I like to do it. Is I like to come up with an idea on ChatGPT. That's stage 1. Then we're going to use Genspark, which is the one-click AI agent. And then after that, we're going to go into testing mode and maybe make a few tweaks back and forth. Right? That's where the one-click magic happens. We'll put a number 1 over there, numero uno. But essentially, that's the whole process. All right. So what you can see here is the 3D runner game. We literally built it in 1 single click. Now, if you want to do the research, here's the way that I usually do it. I mean, for example, if you go back to our chats on the left-hand side, let me show you an example. So we said, give me a prompt to build this out, SEO simulator game. Play the Google algorithm, choose strategies, etc. And then you can see it actually just went off and gave us a prompt directly. Right? And then what you can do using that process and that prompt is you just go off to Genspark and you say, right, go off, do this, work your magic, my friend. And you can see it's actually built out, for example, a website right here. All right, so you can build out like lead generation websites. The design tends to be nicer than from what I've seen from other tools, for example, like Bolt or Lovable. I would actually say the design is much nicer. I mean, look at that beautiful gradient right there. If that doesn't capture your attention, what does? And then you can see this also links out to our funnels to make us money on this lead generation website. And you can build out apps, tools, games, whatever you want in like just 1 click. I mean, literally, look at this. We said, do this, pressed enter. So 1 singular click, it went off, it did its magic, and we have the London SEO directory right here. Now, you might be asking as well, okay, how do you deploy this? So what you can do, you've got 2 options essentially. So you can go inside the chat here and then click on open new window, and this will be deployed on a subdomain, as you can see. So that's one way to get this deployed. Or the other option is that you can actually download the code So you can download the code or just copy and paste it, save that as a HTML, plug that HTML into a folder, and then host it on something like Netlify. All right, so if we go over to Netlify, we can just host websites directly inside here. Let me just log in. And it's very, very simple. You can see all these different subdomains that were built. We even built, for example, and this was with Manus, but it's the same process. We actually built the AI Profit Boardroom website using these one-click AI agents. So this whole website was built with AI, and it actually ranks directly on Google for our target keywords. So if you type in AI Profit Boardroom, you can see our website ranking numero uno over there. It gets 88 clicks in the last 77 days. And how easy and simple was that? Right? Ranks number one. It was built in one click with our AI agent. And again, like all you do is you just go over to Genspark, you're like, boom, do this, right? The other thing that you can do if you're not sure what to build, right? Let's say, for example, you want to build something, whether that's a video or image or a super agent tool or game app or whatever, then you can say, okay, give me 10 realistic apps, tools, websites, games that you can build with numbers, right? Number each one. And then we'll ask Genspark to come up with the ideas. Bear in mind, Genspark is essentially like, it's like a wrapper, right? So it's got all these different AI agents and these APIs and these tools, linked them together, put it into a nice little UI, and then you can just go off and do your magic, all right? If you go back to the home here, you can also say, okay, specifically for my industry. All right, so let's say, for example, I'm in the SEO industry. So we'll head into like so. It will give us a bunch of ideas. So for example, like SEO ROI simulator, that would be redonkulously easy to create with this one-click AI agent. So let me grab that and we'll say, okay, create numero 4. We'll hit enter. And that's just going to go off and create number 4 for us. All right. And that should be really, really simple and easy to do, actually. I don't think that's going to take a long time at all. But you can see that literally you can go from no idea, like literally I have no ideas, to here's 10 more realistic apps you can build. And then in one click, you can say, I just create number 4, mate. Just go off and do that. And then it will go off and do it, like you can see. So it's pretty amazing. I've never seen anything like this before. There's never been anything as advanced as like this as well, because, you know, for example, we've all seen stuff like ChatGPT Operator or Convergence AI, or, for example, Claude Computer Use. I wouldn't say any of them are anywhere near as good as this method, because, you know, for the average layman, the lay people out there, they can just go off and build apps, tools, and games, and it doesn't really require any skill, right? But you can build something that's faster, better, and cheaper than a whole team of developers. That's a crazy and scary thing. And this is not just everything that you can do inside Genspark. It can actually do a lot more, but I'll come on to that in a second whilst this is building out. Now, if you're looking for something with a backend, I've never really tested that directly with Genspark directly, right? So for example, let's say you're trying to build an app or a tool or whatever where people can log in. For stuff like that, I would check out my video on YouTube about Data Button, because Data Button can link your website to an API like Supabase. And with Supabase, you can create the login details. Potentially, what you could do as well is you could say, okay, can you help me link this to a login page with Supabase? All right, and Supabase, it just allows you to like connect different apps and tools so people can log in on the back end. And then we can say, yes, go off. By the way, you can see the SEO ROI calculator on the right-hand side here. And then it can start going off and linking Supabase authentication for you so that people can log in directly with their email address, right? So you can have like a login for emails and that sort of thing. But it's if you want like a back end where people can log in and they get their own dashboard and all that sort of stuff, I would say that's probably going to take you maybe like 5 to 10 hours just to properly build it out and make sure it works. It's the same with all these tools, right? Data button, all these other tools, they take a long time to build out something with a back end too. But if you just want a basic front end, a tool you can show, an app, a game, whatever, then you can see how easy this is to do. All right. And look at where did we get, when did I get logged off there? Let me know where you was, where what I was talking about last, and I'll just pick up where I left off because I think the live stream kicked me out for a sec there. Well met, finally always miss the lives. Is Genspark versus Manus. I can show you some examples and compare them side by side in a sec if you want. All right, we're just going to keep on going because I'm not sure where we got up to and where the live stream kicked us off. Let's pop this back open. So yeah, if you want a back end, it's going to take a lot longer. But if you just want a basic front end with no login, going to be way, way faster, way easier and way faster. All right. Now, you might be saying, okay, how does this compare to something like Manus? Which is a great question. All right. So I'm going to show you how this compares. Again, if you want to see my best creations for stuff like this, feel free to check that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. You can see some stuff that we built here. So for example, if we go on to, this is another directory website that we actually built out with Manus. And the thing that I found with Manus is like it takes a long time to build stuff out. Right? Whereas, for example, Genspark, it seems to be a lot quicker. And also, you don't need an invitation code for Genspark, whereas you did for Manus. I don't know if that's still the case, but you definitely needed it before. Right? So Manus is another sort of one-click AI agent that you can use to go off and build stuff. It was groundbreaking when it first came out, but honestly, I would say like it gets stuck a lot. And so, for example, you can see here, it just like it stopped building out the project, and also it's not really one click. Like if you look at this, it's like we had to tell it what to do. It goes back and forth. It spends a lot of time browsing the web, etc. It's a lot slower than building out something directly with Genspark directly. All right, so for example, the game that I was showing you a second ago, the game was built out literally in minutes. This was actually a medieval game that we built with Manus, but I wouldn't say that's on the same level as the game that we built out with Genspark. All right, so if we go back to Genspark, let me show you an example right here. So this is the game that we actually built with Genspark. I would just say the UI and the coding looks a lot nicer, right? And also this game actually has a point, whereas Genspark is with Manus, it doesn't really have a point. Like if you go to that medieval game right here, it's like, what we're doing here, mate, we're running through some medieval woods with something that looks like a cheeky post box. The graphics are a bit messy, like you can see, and there's no real point to the game, right? Whereas if we go back to Genspark, it's actually created something that's playable and interesting and fun, you know? So that's a big difference here. And also we can compare side by side the AI SEO content writer. So this is the one built with Manus. And let me pull up the one that we built with Genspark. All right, which one would you say is better? So this is Manus and this is Genspark. And you see how Genspark is like linking directly to my funnels. So it's great for lead generation. And then also if we go down here, we can plug in our API key and create a custom API key over here. Whereas that's a bit more hidden over here, so the UI is not as nice. And then you also see how it's included information about me with an image of me, etc. So the UI is just much nicer. And this is a much more impressive tool. Whereas something like this, it's so basic. It's not bad. It would have been impressive like the first time you saw that a year ago. But I think now you're looking for something like this, right? Which is a bit more interesting, it's got a bit more magic to it. I mean, it links directly to my social media as well. I didn't even give it the links, but it just literally links out to me. And that was super easy to build out. Like you can see, let's just check that works. Yeah, so that links directly to me as well. So I would say, Genspark is just a totally different generation to Manus as well. Like, for example, if we go inside here and we go inside Manus, we'll start a new task at the same time. And we'll take one of the prompts that we got previously for Genspark. So let me grab this prompt for the SEO game. Or let's take the prompt for the AI SEO content writer tool. So we'll grab that. And side by side, we'll compare how quick Manus is versus Genspark, all right? So we'll plug in the same prompt, as you can see. And you see here as well, like Manus, it can't upload all the text as one long prompt. So we'll click enter like so, and then we'll go into Genspark. And it just goes off and starts doing its magic straight away, right? It's creating the tool straight away. So look at the speed difference. Genspark is already coding out and building that bad boy out, already coding, whereas Manus is not even sure what we need to do yet. So there's a big difference between Manus and Genspark in terms of their capabilities and how fast they are, what they can do, and how fast you're going to get things done. Bear in mind, like if you're waiting for Manus to get this stuff done for you, you might be waiting hours at this point. If you compare the speed difference here, this is already almost finished coding, whereas this is still thinking about it and figuring out, okay, what do we need to do and how do we need to do it? And you see here how it's having set up a development environment, whereas Genspark's already got that set up and it's like, boom, let's just get this done. Let's get it over with. So yeah, I would say it's a totally different generation, way more powerful. And by the time Manus is finished thinking about things, Genspark has probably already deployed it. That's a big difference right here. And then also inside Genspark, you can also generate images, videos, you can do deep research, and it can also make outbound calls for you, none of which Manus can do directly for you. So there's some of the biggest differences. And that's why I would say Genspark is my favorite AI agent so far. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get all my best prompts, tips, workflows for Genspark and Manus feel free to get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. This is a community focused on making more money and saving time with AI. Also comes with an amazing classroom full of automations, AI agents, templates, etc. Like if you just want to set up your first AI agent today, you can just download the workflow, import that into N8N, and you're good to go. The same, for example, for all these AI agents workflows, like you see right here, we've got tons of AI agents if you love that stuff. And also inside the SAP section, we're updating this pretty much every single day. Like you can see with the Genspark section, we've just added tons of SAPs and different prompts for that. And if you ever get stuck in between the live weekly Q&A calls, then you can actually post inside the community and ask any questions you have, like you can see right here, right? So feel free to get that link in the comments description. Look at that. Genspark's already built the thing, mate. Manus is still thinking about it. It's encountered an issue. Genspark just went, nah, we're just going to go off and start building that ASAP, and it's already deployed it, right? So Manus had an error. Genspark already coded out the tool. That's the difference. And if you want to get a free one-to-one SEO strategy session that shows you how to get more leads, traffic, and sales with SEO based on what's working for us and our happy clients, feel free to get that on this free link building acceleration session. You get a custom tailored game plan so you can generate more leads, sales, and profits from your website. You're able to answer any questions live on the call directly with our team. And this is based on what's working for our happy clients, like you see right here. So if you want to get more free leads, customers, sales with SEO, increase your profit margins and stop paying for ads, then feel free to book that in. Link in the comments description. Appreciate you watching. Bye-bye. Oh, we got a glitchy live stream here, peeps. Oh, heavens to Betsy. Heavens to Betsy. All right, peeps. On that note, I'm going to go. If you want to see what we just built out, I will post the videos on organic tomorrow. All right. But who doesn't love watching the black screen? That's what I would say. All right. And we'll see you on the next one. Cheers for watching. Bye-bye.